Hey guys, what's up? Joe Simpson, TechWake TV. Welcome back. Another little trinket that I got for my Mac Mini M1. One of the things I don't like about the Mac Mini, it doesn't have a lot of ports and expansion on the backside. So one thing that I did to take some of the things off my desk was I got one of these USB-C hubs. It looks like this. It gives you an SD card reader, a micro SD card reader, two USB 3.0s on the front, and two USB 2.0s on the front. And all of that connects on the back side of your computer through the Thunderbolt 3 port. So one of the benefits is that it gives you port expansion on the front of the computer and makes it available so you can plug things in like stick drives and thumb drives and use your SD cards and get rid of some of the auxiliary components. One of the drawbacks is that it does take up one of your Thunderbolt 3 ports, which on a Mac Mini, there's only two. So that's something to consider. The additional thing that this thing offers is a hard disk drive space within the unit. So you get a hard disk, a card reader, and some front ports, all for the additional, $100-120 for this unit. I'm not getting blazing speeds, but I'm not really using it for a real fast hard drive solution. I already have that with my Sabrent Rocket. What I do want to have is a landing spot for a lot of data. So I put a 2 terabyte SSD, just an average drive in there. And let's do an unboxing and I'll do some tests and I'll show you how this thing works. Take a look. Tell me what you think at the end. So let's take a look at this thing. Let's get inside and see what it's all about. Packaged pretty well. Not like Apple, but it's pretty nice. Just insert just slides out. Once you lift the unit, it reveals the box. Box is nicely wrapped in a little piece. Plastic, and it's definitely plastic, and it's definitely not nearly as nice as the M1, but I think it'll work for my purposes. I do notice right away the color is slightly off. It's more whitish gray than it is a metallic gray. Inside you get a couple of things. You have the screwdriver, I believe, in here with some screws. Instruction manual. There's a cable. And that's about it. On the bottom of the unit you have the door panel and 4 feet covered by plastic. They're not sticky, but they're rubber, so they keep them covered so when you uncover them they'll have the most grip. So I have a basic drive. It's crucial. It's not an especially fast drive. I'm just going to pop this in here just to test it out and see how it works. The drive pops right into place. Everything fits pretty nicely. And yeah, I do think we're going to need those 2 pads. These will space the gap that is formed between the door on the bottom and the drive so the drive doesn't lean or sag. Door fits snugly in place. I'm going to put in the screws. Screws go in fairly easily. I don't really cinch them down too tight. I just snug them up to where the door won't come off. That's about it. Once you're done, grab the cable, connect the cable to the back of the unit. Either set it on top or below the Mini and just plug it in. Okay, now that we have the drive connected, I'm going to try a simple task. I'm going to open up the drive and I'm going to transfer some data from an SD card onto the drive just to make sure that everything works. So I'm going to push the SD card into the slot, get it to show up on the computer. And there she goes. It's pretty quick. And I'm going to just take one file from the SD card and move it over to the hard disk drive inside the hub just to make sure that everything is working properly. Now let's run a speed test. Select the drive and hit go. That's not too bad. I expected a little lower. I was getting lower speeds before from this drive, and 330, 340 is going to be about average, I think, for this hard drive. I don't think this hard drive itself will go much faster. This hard drive was used before. It's just kind of a slave drive on a computer that I had. I'm not too terribly upset with this speed. I know that if I put a better drive in there, I'd probably get better speeds, but I think with this hub, you're not going to get much above 450, 500 with whatever disk you use. I just don't think it's going to be set up for that, but it's totally adequate for having extra space and storage on your computer. Okay, guys, all in all, I would say this unit is good for convenience and cleaning up your desktop. I don't think it's a real powerhouse solution when it comes to fast read and write speeds for a SSD drive, but I do think it's very convenient to be able to put the drive inside of it, have a card reader and some front ports. That's a nice thing. One of the main drawbacks for me is it uses up a Thunderbolt 3 or Thunderbolt 4 port in the back of this Mac Mini M1, which is, far and few between. There's only 2 of them. I have an OWC port expander for Thunderbolt coming later this week. I'll review that when I get it, and I'll explain to you how I think that's going to be the beneficial move with all this stuff. Anyway, fairly happy with this USB-C hub. You might want to try this. They're not terribly expensive, and it could be a good solution. So far this week, I've covered 2 things that could keep you from upgrading your hard disk drive inside of your Mac Mini M1. First being this hub. That's going to give you the slower speeds, but it will be adequate for just general storage, like keeping photos or videos on there. The other solution is the Sabrent Rocket, which could be a bona fide editing disk because it gets over in excess of 1,000 Gbps read and write speeds. It's somewhere in the 13 to 1500. So there's 2 good options that could keep you way below the cost of upgrading the internal hard disk on the M1. I still think the sweet spot for the M1 is going to be the $899 version that comes with the 500 gig hard disk drive. And I would just stick with the 500 and then upgrade your drives if you don't have the money to upgrade. So there you have it. That's my 2 cents. You guys let me know what you think below. Enjoy it. I'll talk to you soon. Come back, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Later.